Following their glorious World Championship season in 1969, Hank Stram's Kansas City Chiefs had become the most victorious team in AFL history. The only team to win 3 AFL championships, and the only team to represent the AFL in 2 Super Bowl games. For Hank Stram and the Chiefs, only one goal remained: to be champions again. Every season presents a new challenge, but most challenging is the season which follows the glory of a world championship. And that is the challenge the Chiefs faced in 1970. The challenge began in gloomy Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Vikings were primed to release 8 months of accumulated venom, following their decisive defeat by the Chiefs in Super Bowl IV. Superhero Len Dawson completed his first 12 passes, one of them a touchdown bomb to superhero Otis Taylor. But inopportune mistakes ruined the rest of the day for the Chiefs as the Vikings gained a measure of revenge, 27-10. The following Monday night, the Chiefs were in Baltimore to face the always dangerous Colts and all-time NFL passing leader John Unitas. It was a mismatch. All-time AFL passing leader Len Dawson lit the fuse when he hit Gloucester Richardson for a touchdown on the first series of the game. Dawson went on to complete 9 of 12 passes, good for 3 more touchdowns. 1 to Robert Holmes, and 2 to number 25, wide receiver Frank Pitts. In the second quarter, the Chiefs led 31-0, partly because of Dawson's passing and partly because of an offensive line which blew open cavernous holes for the bullish charges of Robert Holmes, and for the deceptive draws of Wendell Hayes, and for the waterbug scamperings of Warren McVeigh. And a new star was born when punt returner Ed Podolak dazzled the national television audience with a premiere performance of the dashing style which would soon become a major part of the Kansas City offense. When Unitas had the ball, he didn't keep it for long. Everywhere he looked, the Chiefs were waiting. 5 times, man-for-man defense outmanned the Colts. 2 interceptions were by number 18, whip-it quick cornerback Emmett Thomas, and 3 were by number 42, everything free safety Johnny Robinson, who also scooped up a Baltimore fumble and turned it into another Kansas City touchdown. While the defensive back sealed off the long plays, the Chiefs linebackers snapped up the short ones. Jim Lynch closed off the right side. Willie Lanier manhandled the middle. And Bobby Bell was at his all-pro best on the left. And defensive end Aaron Brown, number 87, was a one-man wrecking crew, as the Chiefs overwhelmingly convinced the Colts and the nation that the World Championship belonged in Kansas City.
see. What's your favorite day? Monday. No. Tuesday. Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
Here's a hint. And now, Fridays have some great new pastas. Sauteed toppings, delicate sauces, all tossed together in great big bowls. Goodness gracious. Great bowls of pasta at Fridays. What day was that again?
A cheeseburger sounds good, huh?
Dad, with your heartburn?
No problem. They have Tums.
Tums? With that new prescription you're taking? Did you talk to your doctor?
What?
Well, look, read the warning.
You're kidding. Tums?
Yeah, it says if you're taking a prescription, don't take Tums without checking with your doctor.
Really?
Here, Dad, try my Pepsid AC. There's no prescription warning. One Pepsid AC now, we won't even get heartburn.
Are you going to buy those, hon?
But I will have a cheeseburger.
Same here.
Start living heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
Mystic Music presents Bell Bottom Rock.
All I was born rambling man. Sweet home Alabama. You ain't nothing yet.
Bell Bottom Rock has all those hard-to-find favorites from the early 70s. Crank it up. Rock today. 2 cassettes, only $19.95. 2 CDs, only $24.95. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-978-9922 or send $19.95 for 2 cassettes or $24.95 for 2 CDs plus $4.95 shipping to Bell Bottom Rock, P.O. Box 1111-ZI, Monument, Colorado 80132, or call 1-800-978-9922.
This is ESPN Classic.
Game 3 was in Denver, where place kicker Jan Stenerud boomed a 55-yard field goal, just 1 yard short of the record as it then stood. But this time, Stenerud field goals and Podolak punt returns were the Chiefs' only offense. It was a typically bruising Broncos-Chiefs game, but this time it was the undefeated Broncos who were doing most of the bruising, as Denver battered Glenn Dawson in Kansas City for the first time in 12 tries, 26-13. The world champions came into their home opener with only 1 victory in 3 games, and there to welcome them home was Zorba the Patriot, also known as Joe Cap. Glenn Dawson's knee had been injured in the Denver game, so Mike Livingston was called on to start his 7th game at quarterback for the Chiefs. And for the 7th time, Livingston not only delivered an offense, but a victory. Joe Cap was not so fortunate. In his first action in the AFC, Cap did manage his first touchdown pass, but most of the time, the Chiefs' defenders looked like the intended receivers as they gathered in 6 more interceptions. For Joe Cap, it was another unforgettable adventure in a redwood forest. For the Chiefs, a welcome chance to even their record at 2-2. For their 5th game, the Chiefs traveled to Cincinnati's new and scenic Riverfront Stadium, where they were faced with Paul Brown's surprising Bengals and quarterback Virgil Carter. With Len Dawson still resting his bruised knee, the Chiefs' offense had its problems in the early going. Behind 9-0 in the second quarter, Len Dawson was called upon to get the Kansas City offense moving again. Dawson set up 1 touchdown with an end around to Frank Pitts. One pass by Dawson resulted in a spectacular scoring play for tight end Fred Arbanis. But the game's biggest play came when Dawson faked a handoff and threw to Ed Podolak, who turned the routine short pass into a 59-yard touchdown as the Chiefs came from behind to roll past much improved Cincinnati 27-19. Back home the following week, the Chiefs met the eventual NFC champion Dallas Cowboys in a contest both teams will long remember. In the first quarter, the Chiefs' Redwood Forest closed in on Craig Morton and set up the offense for an early lead. New starter Ed Podolak swept in behind Mo Mormon, but this was to be the Chiefs' only touchdown. The Cowboys collapsed Len Dawson's protection and came back to win going away. Not only did the Cowboys pull off one of the season's biggest upsets, but they left the Chiefs one half game behind Oakland in the AFC's 10th Western Division. And the Chiefs' next opponent was to be none other than the Miracle Raiders themselves, in a 23rd renewal of the dead-even rivalry that is more like an upheaval of nature than a sporting event. By this time in the season, Len Dawson had learned, when in trouble, get the ball to Ed Podolak. Ed Podolak gained more than 100 yards rushing for the first time in his brief career. Otis Taylor's racehorse powerful stride ground out another 129 spectacular yards. Perfect pass protection enabled Dawson and Taylor to complete the game's most sensational play. Despite these offensive heroics, the Chiefs trailed by 4 in the fourth quarter when fullback Wendell Hayes took a screen pass and careened into Oakland territory. Len Dawson found Otis Taylor clear by 10 yards, and the Chiefs led 17-14 with only 5.5 minutes left in the game. Then came the play which decided the game and perhaps the season for the Chiefs. With 1 minute, 8 seconds to play, third down, 11 to go, Len Dawson sprinted for 19 yards and apparently the game-clinching first down. Then only madness remained. For 5 minutes, the game hung in the balance before offsetting penalties nullified Dawson's crucial play and gave the Raiders just enough time to cross midfield. From the Kansas City 48-yard line, the oldest player in pro football, 43-year-old George Blanda, booted home the tying points with just 3 seconds remaining. Instead of Kansas City, Oakland was suddenly in first place as the first half of the season drew to a depressing close.
We know families need help finding the right PC. That's why Gateway custom builds PCs for who you are. Call 1-800-GATEWAY now. Want to get ahead in school? This learning PC is perfect. With $500 worth of educational software included and an Intel Celeron processor, just $39 a month. Need a computer in class? Now it's affordable. Take this portable with an Intel Celeron processor to college for as low as $48 a month. Too young for a computer? Not with this Kid Builder PC. With a specially designed keyboard and educational software as low as $32 a month. Want a computer that grows with your child? Only Gateway lets you trade it in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years with the YourWare program. Call 1-800-GATEWAY, and we'll even include a year of internet access with Gateway Essential PCs. That's a $250 value, so call now.
If you have thinning hair, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now, and we'll send you our new 40-page hair loss update. It covers the most up-to-date information on Hair Club's most natural-looking, non-surgical hair development to date. You won't believe some of the hairstyles that you never thought you could have again that are now attainable through this method. So whether you're brushing your hair back, coming out of a pool, or just roughing it up, it looks and feels just like your own hair. Remember, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now and get your free booklet. That's 1-800-HAIR-CLUB.
I expect a lot of my family. I expect Joe to get heartburn, Tony to get nausea, and Sarah indigestion at the mere sight of food. Instead, Joe would get indigestion, Tony diarrhea, and I'd end up with heartburn. I just keep first aid handy at all times.
Pepto-Bismol relieves more stomach problems than any of these other leading medicines.
I expect the unexpected.
Pepto-Bismol, first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, upset stomachs.
This is ESPN Classic.
The second half of the season began with sheets of rain falling on the Oilers and Chiefs in the kind of game where even an all-pro punter like Gerald Wilson has trouble getting rid of the ball. The kind of game when anyone has trouble holding on to the ball. The only significant offense came about when Len Dawson connected twice with newly acquired tight end Billy Cannon to set up 2 Kansas City touchdowns. One scored on another super effort by Ed Podolak. Houston's Charlie Johnson moved the ball at times, but all-pro linebacker Bobby Bell tightened the clamps where necessary. In the fourth quarter, Bell broke the game open when he drifted into Johnson's passing lane and turned a Houston pass into a 45-yard clinching touchdown for Kansas City. Next for the Chiefs were the improving Pittsburgh Steelers, who had won 4 of 5. The Chiefs, however, were ready for Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers. 5 times the Chiefs intercepted, twice by Johnny Robinson, the only player remaining from the original Dallas Texans. Another Kansas City veteran with a reason to look back was quarterback Len Dawson. The man who was not good enough for the Steelers made his return to Pittsburgh a triumphant one as he ran and passed the Steelers into submission. 24 times he threw, and 19 times he connected for more than 250 yards. Twice he faked artfully to his backs and then hit Billy Cannon for touchdowns. The final artful stroke was a perfectly launched missile to Otis Taylor as Len Dawson destroyed the Steelers 31-14. Back in Kansas City for Week 10, it was cold, but a sub-freezing wind chill did not deter another sellout crowd of Kansas City faithful. It was the kind of day when a man had to keep moving to stay in one place. The kind of day when gloves will help, but not enough. While the wind and the hands were frigid, the rivalry with the Cross-State Cardinals was something else. For the Chiefs, Ed Podolak continued to add luster to his record as he gouged out 112 yards rushing against a St. Louis defense which had recorded 3 consecutive shutouts. Podolak set up one field goal with a halfback option pass to number 88, tight end Morris Stroud. Jan Stenerud kicked another from farther out as the Chiefs built a 6-0 halftime lead. But despite holding the NFC's leading offense without a touchdown, 2 second-half field goals by Jim Buchan tied the final score at 6-6. The following week against San Diego, the Chiefs had to get their offensive machinery moving again. This time, Len Dawson pushed all the right buttons, and the Kansas City offense shifted into high gear. Dawson hit 17 of 24, including a scoring dart to the tallest man in pro football, 6'10" Morris Stroud, as the Chiefs rolled past the Chargers 26-14. The final home game for the Chiefs was the rematch with Denver. The game's only touchdown came on the second play from scrimmage, as Ed Podolak followed picture-perfect blocking for 65 yards, the Chiefs' longest play of the year. Podolak went on to his third 100-plus game, while Jan Stenerud added 3 field goals on his way to the conference scoring title and all-pro honors. The Kansas City defense added 5 more interceptions, 3 by league leader Johnny Robinson, as the Chiefs avenged their earlier defeat at Denver by dealing the Broncos their first shutout in almost 4 years. And so the Chiefs had concluded their home season, unbeaten in their last 6 games, and fully prepared for their famous stretch run, which would begin the following Saturday afternoon against the team with which they were now tied for first place. A record crowd jammed the Oakland Coliseum that day to see the game which would finally decide the Western Division Championship. The victorious Raiders would go on to play Baltimore for the AFC Championship, while the defeated Chiefs could only watch and wonder what would have happened if.
Whenever you see racetracks around the world, you usually see Mobil 1 signs. So many people think that Mobil 1 synthetic is only for high-performance cars. Well, let me dispel that myth for you right now. Mobil 1 can improve the performance of almost any car while protecting the engine even under the most severe conditions. So for the same reason the race guys use Mobil 1, so should you.
Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
This is indeed a small miracle, a triumph over everyday arthritis pain, made possible by a remarkable medicine, Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. So effective even the newest arthritis prescription hasn't been proven to work better. And stomach safety no other brand of pain reliever can surpass. Miracle drug? Someone sure thinks so. Tylenol Arthritis. Take comfort in our strength.
This is ESPN Classic, the Classic Sports Network.
Go one-on-one with the legends you'll never forget.
Why I'm in love with Classic Sports is because it gives people a chance to see for themselves some of the things that we do.
Anybody that gets in my way is going to pay.
I knew I could take on these women in my prime, but the prime was gone.
I got the chance to live my dreams.
The ABA was the most special of times.
Yeah, but I don't remember too well. That's what happens when you play without a helmet.
Go one-on-one, Shaft one-on-one. Weeknights at 6:30, only on ESPN Classic.
If it ain't over till it's over.
Every coach knows that when you play against the Kansas City defense, you're playing against the best. As one opponent said during the season, playing against those guys is like playing the All-Pro team. And in fact, 7 of the 11 members were named to the coach's All-AFC team. The loss of defensive end Aaron Brown had to hurt, But the development of young players like number 66, Bob Stein, was an encouraging note for the future. These men will be back, all of them, and probably better than ever. The men who in 1970 pressured opposing quarterbacks into 31 interceptions, a total which led the league for the 5th consecutive year. Men like number 40, All-Pro cornerback Jim Marsalis, with 4 interceptions. And number 46, strong safety Jim Kearney with 4 interceptions. And number 42, All-Pro free safety Johnny Robinson, the league leader with 10 interceptions. And number 18, cornerback Emmett Thomas with 5 interceptions. Running at the Chiefs is like beating your head against a wall. There's no place to hide from giants of the game like Buck Buchanan and his running mate at tackle, Curly Culp. And there is no place to hide from all conference ends like Jerry Mays and Aaron Brown. And all conference linebackers like Willie Lanier and Bobby Bell. No matter what a quarterback tries, there always seems to be a chief who is ready to turn defense into offense. Nobody plays defense quite like the Chiefs.
Right! Slim right! Jet!
The Kansas City defense, Terra Incorporated.
Red shrimp, green shrimp fry! Come on, let's go, 7, baby! Come on, turn around! Let's go,
Perhaps more than anyone else, Ed Podolak symbolizes the Chiefs of the future. A former college quarterback at Iowa, Podolak in his second year as a pro not only learned to catch a punt, but led all of pro football in punt returns and rapidly became the player the Chiefs tried to get the ball to any way possible. Because once he got the ball in his hands, there was no one in football who could find the open spaces any faster. Once in the open, the high-striding power of Crazy Legs Podolak churned up 1,755 yards of total offense. With men like Ed Podolak, innovative coach Hank Stram is reshaping the Kansas City offense. But the foundation of any great offense is in a quarterback like Len Dawson, an offensive lineman like all-pro tackle Jim Tyrer, all-conference guard Ed Buddy, center Jack Rudney, guard Mo Mormon, and tackle Dave Hill. The foundations are there, and as Coach Hank Stram has said, we are proud we were champions in 1969. But football is a game of now. And now our only goal is to be champions again.